In this Torah portion, the Lord gives Moses one last task. He says to Nachmat to take full vengeance on the Midianites. And like I said, the last Drash I had, if you have a word that repeats, it's like emphasis, like do it. God made good on his promise to make Abraham a father of many nations. After Sarah died, Abraham married Keturah, and they had several children, one of whom was Midian. For the most part, they were nomads and traders and wandering in the area of the valley of Jezreel. They joined forces with the Amalekites and other peoples of the sea and proved to be a constant source of trouble for Israel. And if you recall, Moses took refuge with the Midianites when he fled Egypt. Jethro, a priest of Midian, became Moses' father-in-law when he married Zipporah. Jethro was a member of the Kenite tribe of Midian. The saying, there's one in every crowd, applies here, because Jethro's house is virtually the only Midianite tribe who's mentioned in a positive light. Joseph's brothers sold him to the Ishmaelite and Midianite traders. Midianites hired Balaam to curse Israel. Well, it didn't turn out too well for them. At harvest time, they would raid the land to destroy crops, kill or plunder livestock, and generally harass Israel. As Bruce pointed out in last week's message in Numbers 25, it recounts the occasion of Israel accepting an invitation to a festival to worship Baal at Peor, pulling them away from the worship of God. When an Israelite man took up with a Midianite woman who was a Baal worshiper, it was the last straw for Phinehas. The son of Eleazar struck them both dead, and the plague was stopped. A total of 24,000 died as a result of the disobedience. God wasn't done with Midian just yet. He used Midian to harass Israel for 7 years when Israel did what was evil in Adonai's sight. God raised up Gideon to defeat the Midianites, as recorded in Judges 6-8. Judges 8:28 says that the land rested 40 years after Gideon's victory over the Midianites. In the Haftorah, things don't get much better. Jeremiah gives a litany of the crimes that Israel has committed over the years. They followed worthless idols, and even the priests who were supposed to know better didn't ask, "Where is the Lord?" Leaders rebelled, and prophets prophesied by Baal. Chapter 2:19 says, "Consider the gravity of their deceit. They have no awe of God." I'm kind of wondering, some of the churches that you see out there now today are in that same boat. The Hebrew word here for awe is paktah, and it means dread, alarm, or fear, and it's the only place in Scripture that this word's used. There was no cleaning themselves up. No soap or cleanser would do the job. The Lord asked if the gods they chose were so great, then let them come and save them when they got into trouble. A commentary said Judah had as many gods as they had towns, and no wonder the Lord said to wipe out the Midianites. The New Covenant reading is the account of Yeshua cursing the fig tree. At first reading, one might think, that's really harsh. The fig tree puts out their fruit before the leaves appear. So from a distance, you would surmise that where there were leaves, there should be fruit. What one would expect to see, fruit on a fig tree, was not there. The tree was fully grown. There were leaves on the trees, but no fruit. And you all need fruit, you all need fruit, or there'll be no seed. Yeshua's next stop was the temple, where he overturned the tables of the money changers, drove out those who were selling doves, and would not allow anyone to carry anything in the temple. The parallel here is that the temple, which should have had true worshipers, fruit, instead condoned money changers, sellers of pigeons, and merchants. No fruit was being produced in this temple. Deuteronomy 5:15 says that God is jealous, demanding exclusive service. In Hebrew, the words for zealous and jealousy are related. They pretty much have the same root. And one is a noun, one's an adjective. In the New Covenant, it's recorded that the disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of the temple consumed him, Yeshua. The temple officials also had zeal, but it wasn't for the temple, but for holding on to their own prestige and standing in the community. Yielding to the Messiah jeopardized this, so ironically, they stood against the very one that they were supposed to be worshiping. Taking this stand would have never yielded fruit on their fig tree. Shabbat Shalom.